Why using object-oriented programming with Arduino? So I'm not going to go over all the details of OOP here. I am mainly going to show you the benefits you can get. If you don't know anything about OOP, don't worry, I will explain everything while we start to write some code in the next section. So object-oriented programming is simply a different way to write code. This is a different paradigm than the traditional procedural one. With OOP, you structure your program with different objects interacting with each other. An object contains some properties and some functionalities that are specific to the essence of that object. OOP can bring you some benefits if you use it correctly. With it, you can write clear and clean code, easy to read. You can add more context and more sense to your program, hide the complexity of some functionalities, make your program easier to maintain, create building blocks that you can reuse on top of each other so you can increase the complexity of the application without increasing too much the complexity of your program. And using OOP can also make you solve problems in a better way. Now, you may also know that the Arduino language is kind of a subset of C and C++, with some limitations. But the good news here, object-oriented programming is a part of what you can use for this limited subset. In fact, you may not know it, but some of the most common Arduino libraries are actually written using OOP. Among them you can find the serial library, which you certainly have already used to debug your program or communicate with your computer. The wire library to communicate using the I2C protocol. The servo and stepper libraries to interact with motors, and you can find many more. So OOP is already there and widely used in Arduino. If you worry about OOP breaking things in your code or about performance issues, well, things have been working fine under the hood without you knowing it, so that's not going to be a problem. Now, a few important points and possible misconceptions I want to clear about Arduino and OOP. First, OOP won't add functionalities to your program. This is only a different way to write code with the benefits I have explained before. But thanks to those benefits, you will be able to create more complex applications. So in the end, OOP will help you write functionalities in a cleaner and more robust way, but you have to understand that you won't gain new extra functionalities that are not available without using OOP. Then OOP is not going to slow down your code. Yes, it's going to take a few more bytes of memory, but the addition is so small that it won't even matter. And think of all the existing libraries using OOP, and you didn't have any problem using them before. In fact, if you meet the memory limit of the Arduino, well, it's probably because you did something wrong with the code, not because you are using OOP. Then, OOP is not that common in the electronics world, and if you go deeper in microcontrollers, for example using STM32, then you will probably use different paradigms that are specific to microcontrollers. OOP is a more high-level feature and only makes sense when using electronics boards such as Arduino, not lower-level boards such as the STM family. And one last point here, I am not claiming that OOP is going to solve all your problems in a magical way. Obviously, to get the benefits, you have to use OOP correctly, which is well what you are going to learn here. Great, so now you can start the course with a better idea of why using OOP with Arduino and what you can expect with it.